Hi, my name's Seb. I've built automations for 6 to 8 figure companies, and today I'm going to be showing you a Cal.com AI booking agent from everything from the prompts to the back end and everything for a step-by-step walkthrough. I'm going to show you exactly how you can build it, and this is a little what it looks like. Let's open the chat here. I'm going to say, hi, I want to book a meeting for 10 a.m. tomorrow. The agent is automatically going to know what day tomorrow is and what date it is. It's checking availability in mycal.com, and we get this little response here. The time for 10 a.m. is available, and I have to answer these fields. Seb Gardner, Seb at savvyflow.com. What is the meeting about? Software meeting update. And then once I provide it with these questions, which I've prompted the AI agent to ask, it is going to book the appointment in mycal.com there. Your meeting has successfully been booked for July 16 at 10 a.m. Today is July 15, so it's automatically identified tomorrow's date. And then we've got the meeting title, the duration, and we also get provided a meeting link, along with cal.com will also provide an email invitation to the person who booked the event. And then if we come into cal.com, we go to bookings, we can see there is that booking for July 16, 10 a.m. tomorrow. If we click on this event, we can see what is the meeting about, software meeting update, as I specified within the chat. So I'm going to build this out step by step for you guys and show you exactly how easy this is. I'm going to run you through the exact steps. So I'm going to create a new workflow personal. Once you've created a new workflow, what I'm going to do is add first step, and this is going to be on chat message right down here. We're going to make the chat publicly available. This way we get a link that we can then, if we switch the workflow on, paste into our browser that anyone can chat to. You can also add styling, which I might add towards the end of this video, to this chat to make it look a little bit better. But I'm going to switch this back off for now. I'm going to hide the chat. And then what I'm going to do is add a little plus icon here, click on the AI, and then go to AI agent. Alternatively, you can just go on search nodes and search AI agent. Once you click on there, we are going to require, no, we're not going to require, we're going to click a system message, and then I'm just going to copy the message from here, just so I don't have to write it all out again. I'm going to provide you guys with these prompts and all the resources so you guys can just copy and paste along with this whole N18 template. But right now I'm going to run you through this prompt because it is a pretty long prompt. So basically, I'm going over the possible tools that this AI agent has. So I've got check availability, create booking, retrieve upcoming booking information, cancel existing booking, reschedule an existing booking. And then I go into more depth about these different tools. So we've got check availability. So I'm saying use this tool to verify a requested time slot. And then I provide it with the current date in Antwerp, Belgium. You have to change this to your dates wherever you're located in the world. I'm in Antwerp, Belgium at the moment, and then I provide the date. We can see here on the right hand side, this is a dynamic field, and there is the date today. It's the 15th of July 2025, 15th July. So you must resolve any relative date expressions like tomorrow, next Friday, or this weekend by referencing the date above. That's how the AI agent knows what the day is when people say this weekend, next week, and things like that from this dynamic date that we set. And then we say convert all the dates into this format here. You'll notice that we consistently repeat this date format because the agent has to get this format right. And then we also reference, hey, use one of these offsets depending on whether it's daylight savings or not daylight savings. And then there's some more descriptions. Never return a blank output. If the entire day is unavailable, then request some other days where times are available. Once a user confirms and accept a time, proceed to booking in the next step. And then we've got creating a booking. Only proceed with creating a booking if the requested time has been confirmed available by another tool. the retrieving existing booking info tool, and then use create booking tool to schedule an appointment, confirm the successful creation of the appointment to the user, never create a booking for a time that was not explicitly stated. Note that all bookings after 5 p.m. shall be flagged as unavailable. A lead cannot book at 5 p.m. either. Must be before 5 p.m. So in cal.com, I've set my availability, if we click on working hours, from 9 till 5 p.m. You will have to set this and adjust this to whatever your working hours are and the hours you accept meetings to take place, and then reflect that within this node. So I've said 5 p.m. at the max, because sometimes I'd say, hey, I want to book a meeting for 6 p.m. and then it would say I'm available at 6 p.m. But then I'm not available at 6 p.m. because my availability times are only from 9 till 5 p.m. So I'm just really trying to enforce and make that clear to the agent. And then the third tool, retrieving existing booking info. Use the Get Booking Information tool when the user asks about their existing or upcoming bookings. If there are no upcoming bookings, clearly inform the user. If there is one upcoming booking, store the ID, the UID, is a unique ID to that specific booking that cal.com sets when you create a booking. For use in cancellation or rescheduling if needed. If there are multiple upcoming bookings, list them all, including time and titles or description, and ask the user to specify which one they want to act on. So if the user has booked multiple meetings with you, the agent will ask what meeting they want to cancel or reschedule, or if they want to cancel or reschedule all of them. It also has that ability. Then the fourth tool, canceling a booking. Before canceling a booking, again, it needs to make sure it has the UID, the unique ID to that event. And then if only one booking exists, use the cancel booking tool immediately. No need to ask the user. If multiple bookings exist, ask them what one they want to cancel. Provide the list including the date time of each booking. Once cancelled, confirm the cancellation to the user. Do not cancel the booking without the user providing their email and you obtaining the UID. Again, enforcing this, saying you have to have the UID. This minimizes the chance for error by just repeating ourselves. And then finally, the fifth tool is rescheduling a booking. Before rescheduling, again, make sure you have the UID, the unique ID to that event. Ask a user for their desired date and time that they want to reschedule to. Resolve natural date expression in step 1 and format the date strictly as this. Again, repeating that date format. Use the check availability tool to see what time's available. If available, use the reschedule booking tool. Again, saying with the UID right there. If not, suggest alternative times. Once rescheduled, confirm to the user it's been rescheduled. And then we have some general instructions. Be very clear. Resolve all specified time references. For example, tomorrow, next Monday, using the current date for Antwerp, Belgium time zone. I believe that should actually be Europe, Antwerp, Europe. No, Brussels, Europe. Yeah, I've put it in brackets there. Format all parameters exactly as, again, putting that date format in there. This format is required by all tools. Use the correct UTC offset for Antwerp, Belgium time, +1 or +2. Again, you have to change this time based on what your time uses in the place you are located. And then do not proceed with any actions unless preconditions are met. For example, don't cancel or reschedule without the UID. This is extremely important. You can see within these prompts that the things that are extremely important, I repeat over and over and over again to reduce the chances of it hallucinating and doing not what we want it to do. And then returning the user with an error. And then ask the user questions for the booking in the following format. So before the user books, we want to ask them some questions. You saw in the small, short little demo that it asks for my full name, my email address, and what the meeting is about. And you can add whatever questions you want here. If you track them somehow, the way we are going to be tracking them is from, if we go into event types, the event type that I'm using, and then we go down to advanced. What I'm asking here is under booking questions, I have questions that I need to ask the user to book the meeting. So I've got your name, which is required, email address is required, and the only other required field I've created is what is the meeting about. This can be whatever you want. I'm going to show you how you can create these questions. You just simply click add question, and then you can tell the agent, hey, I want you to ask this question upon a user looking to book a meeting so that we can insert those details into the booking for them automatically. Right, so now that is what the prompt is about. We are going to add a chat model. You have all of these chat models. I'm going to use OpenAI. I'm going to leave it at GPT-4o Mini. Then for memory, I'm going to click a memory and we are just going to use simple memory. I'm going to leave the context window to 5. Basically what this means is the agent will retrieve the last 5 messages from that user to give themselves a bit more information and provide a bit more informed response. And a bit more context into what the information or what the chat is about. And then, so we're going to leave everything there. Also, what I'm going to do is add a think tool. This is optional. You can add a description here to basically tell the agent, hey, use this whenever you are uncertain or want to confirm something. And basically what it does is it makes the agent basically reason with itself. Hey, is this the correct date? And we do this if they are unsure about something. So I say, use this to double check, or I should say, or if you are unsure about a response, to make sure, let me open this. So use this tool to double check, or if you are unsure about the response, to make sure the information you have used is correct. Make sure your date time formats are correct and also time availability. So you can make that whatever you want, but basically the agent will come to here if it's ever unsure about something. It shouldn't be unsure about anything because of the extensive main prompts that we have provided in the main AI agent, but I put there just in case. And now we're going into the fun part of connecting to cal.com through HTTP requests. So we're going to search in HTTP under add a tool. And these are basically making custom API requests, custom requests to perform actions in cal.com and retrieve information from cal.com. And we need a description of this HTTP request within the agent tool. And basically what these HTTP requests are going to be is all of these tools that we have specified. The check availability, create booking, retrieve upcoming booking information, cancel an existing meeting, and reschedule an existing booking. So now we have to create those core cal.com tools. And what I'm going to do is for the description, I'm going to paste and copy the description from over here so I don't have to write it. But again, I will go over what these prompts say. You guys will have access to all of this. Oops. So you do not have to write it out. There we go. I'm going to rename that, make this an expression, open it up. So what this check availability tool does is I'm pretty much just repeating what I said in the main prompts. This tool retrieves appointment availability for a full workday window on the calendar. Use time in and time max to define, this should actually be start time. Use start time and end time to define the range. Start time always set to 9 a.m. local time. So that is, again, you have to go to your availability in cal.com and make sure the availability in here aligns with what is in here. So I'm 9 till 5 p.m. in cal.com. I'm also 9 till 5 p.m. So you'll need to adjust this to whatever your availability is. And then, for example, to check availability for April 25, 2025, the start time will be in this format. The end time will be in this format. Again, we're providing as much context in almost every angle possible about the date time format, because if this is incorrect, the API request will not work. And again, we repeat ourselves here. Time values must always be in the format where the offset is either +1 or +2, depending on daylight savings time in Antwerp, Belgium. So again, you have to find out what your date time format is, or what your offset is for your specific location in the world. I know this is super random, but I know, for example, Australia is +10 and plus something else. It might be +10 and +11 or something like that. So it's different all around the world, and you have to adjust this. And the offset, the UTC offset, is super easy to find. All you need to do is head into Google and say something. For me, it'll be, what is the UTC offset in, oh, it's there, Europe, Belgium. And then for Europe, Belgium, the standard time in Central European time is UTC +1. And then we just copy this +1. And Belgium observes summertime daylight savings time from the last Sunday in March, and that's 02. And I'm not sure what this is. Maybe I have to look into that, but I've never heard of that format before. So I'm going to leave that for now. I've never had an issue, so yeah, we'll leave it at those two. And then availability will be returned as free or busy. Now, what we need to do in here for the check availability is this will be a GET request, most likely, but to confirm this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the API documentation in cal.com, and all I'm going to do to find the exact endpoint is go into here, and then I'm just going to say check. Yeah, I'll say check time slots, because I know it's this endpoint and I've got it there. Check time slots cal.com API, and then get all bookable slots between a date time range. I believe this is it. Check availability. Yep. And then in this right side here, we can see it is indeed a GET request, which is the method. And then we need the URL, which is right here. So we can copy this URL directly. And then we're going to leave authentication empty. And I believe we'll need some sort of authorization. I'm not sure if we just need the API key. It looks like we do. So we're going to go down into authorizations, which is a query parameter. So we're going to copy this header right here called API key. Go on to send query parameters, check that API key. Then we're going to provide our API key. The way you can find your cal.com API key is by heading to cal.com, going down to settings, and then under developer, there's API keys. Then you'll need to add one. I'm going to do Canadian text integration 04. If you are going to use this API and don't want it to expire, check never expires. But for me, this is just for this purpose. I'm going to expire it in 7 days. Click save, copy this, click done, head back to NA10 and simply paste that API key in here. Now, if we go back here, let's see if there is anything else we need. We need a start time and we need an end time. These are required fields. I'm also going to put in an event type ID, and I'm going to show you exactly what this is in a second. But we're going to click add parameter, event type ID, paste that in there, and then if we head back here, basically what an event type ID is it's the ID to your different meeting types. So for me, I want to use this top 15-minute meeting. If you click on that, in the URL here, you'll be able to see everything after event types / and before this question mark here, tab name equals setup, this little set of numbers is the event type ID. So if you copy that and paste that, basically we are only now going to check availability for this event, for this 15-minute meeting, and we're going to ignore all of the time slots for secret meeting and 30-minute meeting and only retrieve it from this 15-minute meeting. So that's what event type ID does. Then we're going to get a start time. And I'm going to paste that in the query parameter, and also an end time. Oh, Then I'm also going to paste one more thing, and that is time zone. I'm looking, is there anything else I want here? No. So I'm looking for time zone, add that as a name, and start time. This, let me look in here, see if I can remember. So we need a start time. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to copy this, and I think we're going to paste this in here. And then we need, this is something we want the AI to fill in. And I'm also going to paste this down into the value here. So what we're going to do is, because we want the AI to reference this, you used to just have to do this with 2 curly braces. But now what you have to do is do 2 curly braces, and then it's $ from AI, and then it is open bracket, 1 quote, and then go after that variable of start time, and then we're going to go 1 quote, close bracket, space, another curly bracket, and then we're going to click expression, and now AI is going to fill this in. And we're going to do the exact same for here. We want AI to fill in this end time, so we have the end time, and then we are going to do the exact same thing. So I'm just going to copy this here, going to paste it in there, and then I'm going to cut this and replace it in here. Click expression, and now AI is going to replace that. For the time zone, I'm just going to search what is the Belgium time zone. Hopefully this just comes up. It's not, what was it again? It was Europe. It was Europe, Brussels. That's my time zone. And I'm going to paste that in there. So you'll need to, of course, change the time zone to whatever time zone you are in. And then we're going to check optimize response. Optimize response basically just maximizes your token usage to maximize or to minimize costs. And then we're going to add another tool. It's again going to be an HTTP request tool. This time, if we head back here, it is going to be for canceling a booking. Again, I'm going to copy this description in here, describing to the agent when to use this tool. So I'm going to paste this in here. Then expression. This is a much more simple prompt. This tool is used to cancel a meeting. It must be called after receiving the UID, again enforcing and emphasizing that it needs the UID from get booking information tool, as the UID is required to perform cancellation. Include the reason for the cancellation based on what the user provides. If no specific reason is mentioned, use user requested cancellation. Okay, so now this I know will be a post method, because we're going to be doing something and performing an action within cal.com. We're going to be canceling a meeting. To find the endpoints and confirm this, I'm going to simply search up cancel booking cal.com API. Here we go, cancel a booking, cal.com API docs. And we shouldn't need to worry about any of this. What we are looking for, we can again look in here. It is indeed a request post, and here is the URL. So we're going to copy this. And then the method is at post. We're going to select URL, and we are going to make this an expression, because in here you can see we have a booking UID. I am indeed going to change this, so I'm going to remove just the booking. The reason I'm going to remove booking is because throughout all of the prompts, we have been specifying to AI UID. We never said booking UID. We were referring to the booking UID, the booking unique ID, as just UID. So to minimize confusion, I'm going to remove the booking at the start and just name it UID. Then I'm going to do and format this so AI knows it needs to fill it in. I'm going to do another curly brace, $ from AI, open bracket, single quote, then go to the other side, single quote, close bracket, space, curly brace. Now AI is going to fill that in. Now we're going to need a query parameter. I already know we will need authorization. Let's move this to the side. And also we need a Cal API version, and these are headers. So I'm just going to copy this header in. it's going to be the content type is the title of the header. So I'm actually going to check send headers content type application JSON. Although we might not need this header, and I'll tell you why in a second. And then another header is Cal API version. You may have to change this from time to time, but it has been, if we go zoom out, we can see Cal API version here, and it says it right here, 2024-08-13. So it's been that version since, what's that? Is that October last year? So yeah, you will have to keep up with that and see, but it doesn't change too often. So yeah. And then we have cancellation under data. So data basically means the body, the JSON body, and we are going to go in here, and then we're going to go send body. I'm going to do, I think, using JSON, I'm going to make this an expression, and in cancellation reason, user requested cancellation. I need to format this in JSON, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the friend. Can you format this in proper JSON? I'm trying to show you guys what I would do to do this in the quickest time possible. And then I'll simply paste that in there. And we can see the cancellation reason, user requested cancellation. We did provide this in the prompt, user requested cancellation. If they do not mention, if the user does not explicitly reason why they cancelled the meeting, we're going to default to user requested cancellation. Now in here, it doesn't say you need authorization, but I know we will need authorization because we need authorization to be able to call this API. So what I'm going to do is head over to this one. Oh, in the cancel booking. There's authorization there, and this is bearer. So this one is going to be this time bearer, and then our API key, which we got from cal.com a little while ago. It's going to be bearer. Where are we? Bearer space your API key. And this should be all good to go now. We're going to click optimize response again. And then we're going to add another tool. I'm going to move this over here. Add another HTTP tool. Head back here. I'm going to copy this prompt, paste it in here, rename it, paste it, expression, and this is a little bit more complicated again, but really I'm just repeating what I said in the main prompt. Use this module to book an appointment after the user has confirmed a specific time. I again said this note, after 5 p.m. shall be flagged as unavailable, and they cannot book at 5 p.m. either. Use the following parameters to complete the booking: event, date, time, email, name, and what is the meeting about. So these fields come from our event type under advanced in cal.com, and they come from here, the questions we need to ask. So your name, email address, and what is the meeting about, I've flagged as required. Well, name and email address are by default required, but I've also made this one, what is the meeting about, also required. And the place I've gotten these placeholders from, so like email, name, what is the meeting about, I've gotten these placeholders from, if we head into here and we click edit, we can see an identifier. This is extremely important. So we can see under the identifier, it's simply called name for the question name. I've put that right here. That's the identifier for this question. Then if we go to email, what is the identifier? The identifier is just simply email. I've put an email there in curly braces. Then under what is the meeting about, this is the identifier. What is the meeting about? And I've simply pasted that in between these curly braces. And then event date time is just the date and time that the user wants to book their meeting for. And I will actually show you how I got this. So what I did is I simply clicked add question. I'm going to actually copy this, go save. I'll delete this and show you guys exactly what I did. I clicked add question. The input type is going to be short. The identifier is going to be, for me, is what is the meeting about. The label is what is the meeting about. But you can imagine this could be anything you want. This could be what do you what what is your budget? Maybe I do that and instead I make it a number. And I say, what is your budget as the question mark, required, yes. And then I'm going to do that. And then now what I'll have to do is replace it. I'll have to copy this unique identifier, click save. And then I'll have to replace this with this unique identifier. What is the lead's budget for our services? Yeah, I'll do question mark. And that's basically what these are, those unique identifiers. This is by default this. So you just keep that the same, again, showing and enforcing what date format we want. And this is going to be book appointment. So I already know this is going to be post method because we're performing an action. We're doing something. We're changing something in Carol.com. To confirm this again, all I'm going to do is go schedule a booking Carol.com API. Create a booking Carol.com docs. Then there are two methods. We're not going to worry about this because I'm going to show you exactly the way we need to do it. And we're going to look here. The request again is post the URL. It's right here. So we're going to copy this. This is our URL, request URL. Send query parameters. Before I even look, I know I need authorization. Because of course, with each tool, we will need authorization, and I'm going to copy the bearer API key one. That will be the exact same in here. Now, heading back, we need a header, content type, application JSON. We don't need that. And that's because I'll show you in a second why we don't need that. Cal.com, I believe I said that in the last tool. But I forgot to show you guys. So I'll show you guys in this one why we do not need content type application JSON within N18 and these tools. So we're going to do Carl API version again, and then under data, this represents the JSON. So if we go down here, the data basically means send body, and I'm going to say JSON specific body using JSON. So that's why we don't have to say application type here, content type, application JSON, because that is specified when we choose the body type and the specific body. That is basically saying when we choose JSON and using JSON that our content type is application JSON. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we need a bit of JSON. And so basically, we are going to, so we need the event type ID. That's going to be with the start. So first, I think I want to specify the attendee. And I'm going to show you how I would do this. I'm going to go here again. And I'm going to say, can you format this into proper JSON? And then all I'm going to do is I know I need the attendee. The attendee being the user who is booking. And I'm going to say name. And then I'm going to say email. So we want email. I'm going to say time zone, which is, I know our time zone. Our time zone is Europe, Brussels. Europe/Brussels. Phone number, I don't need. Language, I do want. And I'm going to do EN because that's English. Even if we zoom out here, we scroll down under option 1 and we go drop down this. You can see here these different language types. And in here, there should be EN somewhere. Not sure. There is no EN. Our default is EN. So it's not necessary, but I'm just going to confirm it anyway. And then the next thing I'm going to do is specify the event type ID. So the place that I want to put the booking that I want to book this user in for, this prospect in for. So I'll just copy it here again, the event type ID. Event type ID. I'm going to put a curly brace there just to confirm it does the right thing. And then I'm going to say start also here. The start being what is the date of the booking. And then the booking field's responses, which is going to be this custom field, custom value. Custom field, custom value. And this custom value is going to be that custom field that we created in the questions, which is what is your budget. So then this will just simply be, again, the unique identifier. What is your budget? And then we will paste that right in there. Again, this doesn't have to have quotes. This can be super simple. And then I'm just going to ask it. I will kind of know if this looks right by what ChatGPT outputs here. Yes, that should be okay. And if we copy this directly into this JSON, I know this might be a little complicated. You guys have access to this entire template. So if you get a bit confused, then just bear with me. I'm trying to do this as simple as possible. So basically what we need is, it's important that the identifiers are the same. So even for name, we need to make sure the identifier is what we put in here. This needs to be in here. Let me confirm this. I'm going to go here. Name from AI, name. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Okay, so basically, these headers need to be the unique identifier. So if we head over to, in here, questions, we need to confirm that your name, we need to make sure this identifier is the same as the header here. For email, we go email address, the unique identifier here is the same here. Time zone, language, these are all standard that we directly copy and pasted. But then this is really the most important for booking fields responses under the custom fields, because that's what we created. And make sure this identifier aligns with the identifier we set in what is your budget, which it does. And then we can start getting AI to fill this in. So event type ID, we can fill this in manually. It's going to be that ID from the URL. Paste that in there. The start time, the email, and the name and everything else is going to be filled in by AI. So we can say two curly braces, space, $, from AI, open bracket, single. I believe this will just be name. And then close bracket, two curly braces. Under email, it will be the same. So I'm just going to copy this, paste it here, and go email. And for start, if I head up into our prompt, I'm going to copy this, but if I exit this temporarily, go up to our prompt, and here are the unique identifiers I created. So I'm going to say event date time, copy that, head back down to the JSON, zoom in here for you guys. And so the start date is going to be identified by this because that's what we specified in the prompt. Then what is your budget? I'm also going to do this. And then I'm going to head back up to the prompt. I believe it's the same. But then here is the unique identifier. We're going to say, what is your budget? And paste that directly into this message here. What is your budget? Now this JSON should all be ready to go. Let me head back here, confirm we have all the headers we need. Do we have anything else? Routing, status, data. This looks all good to go. So we are going to say that's complete. Now we have two more tools we're going to create, HTTP. I'm going to then copy the next one for reschedule a booking, copy the description again, copy the name, rename. This is going to be another post request. I already know because we're doing it, performing an action in cal.com again. The last complicated prompt, this tool will be used to reschedule a meeting. It must be called after fetching the UID, extremely important. Provide the reason for rescheduling based on the user's input. If no specific reason is given, use user requested cancellation. And then we're going to use a placeholder new date time to specify the new date and time. Ensure it is correctly formatted in UTC as that. And again, you have to change these dates depending on where you are located. New date time has the following definition. We are specifying this again and putting it right there. Okay, now what I'm going to do again is go reschedule a meeting cal.com API. Going to go into this docs here. There we go. I'm going to look here. The request is indeed post. Here is the request URL that we're going to copy. So we're going to copy that, paste it in here, make sure the method is post. And we're going to make this an expression. And again, we're going to do the same thing we did before, removing the booking at the front, two curly brace from AI, open bracket, single quote, and then we're going to another single quote, close the bracket, space, curly brace from AI. We need a $sign here. There we go. Now this is all good. Again, we're making that UID instead of booking ID because we've been referring to the booking ID as just a UID in all of our prompts. Now we're going to send query parameters. I know we will need authorization to make requests, and then I'm going to just copy this authorization from the other tool and paste it in here. Now let's see, what else do we need? We need the header cal API version. So let's copy this, send headers cal API version, which is right here. Let's paste that down there. See if we need anything else. We need some data for the start time. So that's that JSON body. And we need a start and a reschedule reason. So what I might do is I will head to our friend again and say, can you format this into proper JSON? JSON, this start, and then reschedule reason. There we go. That's all we're going to do. Then we get provided with that JSON. We're simply going to go send body content type JSON, using JSON, and paste that right there. Then what we need is to use some AI stuff here. The reschedule reason we have specified in the prompt saying, where is it? If no reason is given, use user requested cancellation. So we can copy that and directly paste that in between these two quotes. Then the start time, this is going to be something the AI fills in, and it's called new date time, which we've specified here. So we're going to copy that, and we're going to go down here, paste it in here. But also, because we want AI to fill this in, we're going to do two curly braces, $sign from AI, open bracket, single quote, another single quote, close bracket, space, two curly braces. Make this an expression, and now AI is going to fill that in. We're going to optimize the response. I'm not sure if I've been clicking that each time. I've been meaning to, but I might have forgotten a few times. And now that should be good, that tool. Now we're going to make the last request. Let me see here. We've done the start time. This looks all good. Okay, now the last, get booking information. I'm going to copy this prompt. This will be one of the simplest prompts because we shouldn't have any date time formats that need to be specified. Yep, this tool is to retrieve information about a meeting. It helps to obtain the UID, which is extremely important. So which is necessary for cancelling or rescheduling meetings based on the user's request. And then this is going to be a get method. Then we are going to be saying get booking information API cal.com. We're going to say get a booking. And right here we can see it is indeed a get request. And then here's the URL. So we are going to paste that in here, make the method and get method. And this is going to change to an expression, again changing that booking UID to just UID. Make it 2 curly braces, space, $ from AI, open bracket, single quote, quote again, close bracket, space, curly brace. There we go. So now AI is going to fill that in. Now, what else do we need? I know we will need authorization once again. Authorization. Let's just copy this from the other tools. Copy this in here. Where are we? Get booking. Paste that in there. What else do we need? We need a Cal API version header. There shouldn't be too much to this request really, like the other ones. And the Cal API version, let's zoom out here. The Cal API version is right here. Although it does say we need the booking UID, get booking information. So we need the booking UID. Oh, we had the booking UID. What am I saying? We have the booking UID. Okay. Okay. Get a booking, and the booking, I believe we need something to say upcoming. Get booking information, event type ID. Yeah, status upcoming. Status upcoming. Okay, so we need the event type ID as well. Okay, that's a bit confusing actually because this was not specified in the documentation. So luckily, you guys have access to all of this. And we're going to add some more query parameters. We're going to say the event type ID, again, going to your event in cal.com, pasting that ID here. Then there was 2 more parameters. Status, I remember, is going to be upcoming, so we'll only get upcoming bookings. And there was attendee email, which was not called that. It was called this. I actually want to confirm. Attendee email. Created a attendee email. There we go. So there is indeed an attendee email. Event type. This is the response though. You can also specify the language. You know, we could have done this actually in JSON, but that would just complicate things. So just ignore what I said there. I'm just looking through all of these headers to see what we are getting. This is deprecating. Hosts, data. Oh, this is in a JSON body. Okay. This should be okay. Then I'm gonna make this AI to fill this in. So I'm gonna do 2 curly braces, $ from AI. Then I'm going to go 2 quotes, 2 brackets, sorry, and then just go email. AI is now going to fill that in. Optimize response, and this should be good to go now. Okay, let's see, the moment of truth. Usually I would test more before just plonking it all out, but I just want to show you guys as quick as possible how easily and how quick you can get this stuff up. So let's see if this works. I want to book a meeting 1 p.m. tomorrow. Let's see, it's using ChatGPT. The simple memory checks the availability. There we go. The requested time tomorrow of 1 p.m. is available. There are also these available time slots. Okay, yes, 1 p.m. is good. There we go. It's updating its memory. Before we book, please answer the following questions. I do need to update that actually. I need to say in the get booking or in the main prompt, because if you remember, we changed it from what is the meeting about to what did we say in the cal.com? We said, what is your budget? What is your budget? Let's confirm in where book appointment prompts that we've changed this as well. What is your budget? Yes. So I'm going to open this chat again, refresh. I want to book appointment for 1 p.m. tomorrow. There we go. It's going to restart the chat, use OpenAI memory, check the availability. The availability of 1 p.m. tomorrow is available. Would you like to proceed with that specific time? Yes, I would. And I'm just going to say Seb Gardner. Email address seb@savvyflow.com. What is your budget? Now the question has been updated. Let's just say $1,000. Okay, now let's see the book appointment. We do have an issue there, so let's just check this out. This is likely going to say the requested time of 1 p.m. is tomorrow, and then it says this again. But let's see what the issue is here. Check the parameters. Email name. What is your budget? Okay, let's look at this request here. Let's see if we can see. Event type ID property is wrong. Event type ID must be an integer number. Event type ID. Custom field. Follow bearer cal.com. Okay, let me just read through this. Okay, so it says something is wrong with the event type property. Must be an integer number. Event type ID property. We do have an integer number though. You know what's wrong? It might actually be what is your budget? I think it might be that because this is meant to be a number. But back in here, I've set it to be a number. So with the dollar sign there, it is therefore not a number because it has a dollar sign and then 1000. So that won't handle it properly. So what I'm going to do instead is short text, save that, and then click save up the top right here. And now hopefully it works. So I'm going to restart this. Restart. I want to book a meeting 1 p.m. tomorrow. I'm going to already do this. Yes. Seb Gardner, seb@savvyflow.com. Now let's see if this works. If this doesn't work, it still doesn't work. Okay, so I think we would have come in upon an issue with that number format, but something still is happening. If it says event type property. Okay, I must have done something wrong with this. JSON, unless I put the event type ID in here, which I did not. Let me see. Did I do anything different from the original one to this one? What is the meeting about? So this is all the same. Okay. This was a very small error. The JSON was indeed the same, but these quotes shouldn't be here because that means it's a string. Yeah, I should have spotted that out. That's my bad. That's my bad. I want to book meeting tomorrow 5. No. 4 p.m. So now it should work. Okay, so that was a bit of an odd format for the questions, but we'll say Seb at savvyflow.com and then $1,000. Still an error. What is it this time? Timestamp. Bad press, please check your parameters. Timestamp. Name. Missing required booking field. What is your budget? Okay, so that is indeed odd because we have that right here. And that is exactly the same. What is your budget? $1,000. And this is a custom field? Yes. I'm looking in here and it says missing required booking field response. What is your budget? It is required booking type fields, but it's missing from the booking fields responses. Booking fields responses. Ah. Bookings fields responses, custom field. Is this part of this JSON? Wait. Yes, 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 yes. This is meant to be part of here. There's not meant to be a curly brace here. This is meant to be the title and it's meant to be like that. And then how does it look? This is not meant to be here. Oh, I see what I did. So this is the custom field. The custom field is this. That's meant to go there. And that's meant to go there. Okay, so now it's part of this. And now I think we remove one of these. I might have to ask AI to make this proper JSON again because I don't think this will be proper JSON. In fact, we are going to confirm, is this proper JSON? Okay. Did make it proper JSON, so now it should work. Okay, so now let's try it. Let's book a meeting. Can I book meeting for 1 p.m. tomorrow? Checking availability. Let's see. Tomorrow is available. Let's go full name. Gardner. Seb@savvyflow.com. 1000. Cool. So I've booked it. There we go. And then I'm going to say, can you reschedule for 1:30 p.m.? Let's see if this works. Getting the booking information, rescheduling it. There we go. It's been rescheduled. 1 p.m. 3:30. No, it's 1:30. Which is good. I just did a bit of a typo there. And then I'm gonna say reschedule. We've booked. We've checked. Now let's say cancel. Can you cancel the meeting, please? Let's just test out all of the tools. It's got the booking information. It's canceling now. And there we go. Let's see if it's cancelled. And it's gone. We should see it under cancelled. 3 p.m. No, 1:30. There's so many. Probably won't appear here. Even if I refresh. Because I have many cancelled from testing this. Okay, so that's everything. All of the tools completely working, and yeah, I did remember I mentioned, I'd say, why this works, why this didn't work last time. Let me go on here for the JSON in book appointment. So the reason this didn't work last time is because if we look in create a booking and we look down here in booking fields responses, you can see it provides this. So if I copy this and paste it in here, basically what I did is I pasted this here, and then ChatGPT interpreted this as a new field. So then it went like that, and then it added like basically this here, and it was like super messy. And then I had that there. What was it, like that? And then I had this here, so it looks something like this. And basically, that is completely wrong and not what Cal.com was telling us to do. What it was telling us to do is do this. Take this value, replace this custom field with this identifier from Cal.com, and then take this custom value and replace it with whatever the value is of that question. Essentially, the custom value is the answer to the question, which AI is answering, so then we were meant to do that. But before I was keeping this custom field here, and I didn't replace it, so that's why that issue was happening. But then I fixed it up that way. Now let me confirm this works. I might have to put it back into JSON, but let me see if it works. Schedule meeting 1 PM tomorrow. Just need to confirm this works. Seb at savvyflow. Yes, do that. .com 1100. Let's see if it works. Still works. Cool. So there you have it. We did a little bit of debugging, just a little bit. That's as expected when building automations. But yeah, this just shows how easy it is to create things like that. There's our new booking. You can create as many questions as you want in your event type. If you go down to advanced again, you can add as many questions, and then just remembering to add those identifiers to the JSON body, asking ChatGPT to format the JSON for you. You can really build out some pretty cool things. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun building this out, and hopefully this showed how easy this stuff really is. Yeah, it's nice to be back in N18 as well. I've been using a lot of Cursor recently, so I've had to do a lot of debugging that I didn't really necessarily know how to do for myself, so it's good to get back into the N18 field. And yeah, once you know what you're doing and you can get a feel for things, it can really be amazing what you can build in such a short amount of time.